to welcome everyone here. My name is Shel Sanchez. I'm the Director of Arts and Culture for the City of Albuquerque. And I'm so happy to be in this space with so many wonderful, beautiful, powerful community leaders and beautiful humans, not the least of which, of course, is our Lady of Honor today, Clara Apodaca. I have to say that this is an impressive gathering of people, very enthusiastic. It represents so much of New Mexico. And so I just want to take a few minutes. I'm almost afraid to do this because I'm going to miss someone, but I'm going to do my very best to just recognize some, maybe all of the luminaries that are in the room with us today. So before we get started on this celebration, I want to recognize a few people. And here I go. I know you're laughing because you're like, there's a lot of people here. Is she going to do it? I'm going to do really well. But I expect you to keep me honest if I miss someone. So in absolutely no order, I'm going to start with someone who's been a part of my life for a long time, former Senator Gail Chasey. That was just a personal moment. We've also got Deb Holland is in the house. Damian Lara is in the house back there. Councilor Joaquin Baca, right here. A former elected official, Clara Padilla Anderson, right here. Very nice. Some other names of note. We've got Julie Morgas Baca. So many titles over the years. So we've got Julie Heinrich is here. And Sam Donaldson, is that true? Sam Donaldson in the house? Where are you, Sam? Very nice. We've got CNM President Tracy Hertzler is here. I saw her back there. And then we've also got, I'm going to close out with another personal favorite. Ed Lujan is here. Also a crowd favorite, apparently. Very nice. Also a lot of other people. Oh, Claire's going to keep me honest. Hold on. Okay. Representative Marion Matthews is in the house. Oh, back there. Very nice. How'd I do, Clara? All right. Thumbs up. All right. And next, we're just going to dive into the fun and the joy of today, which is really honoring Clara Apodaca and all she's done for our city and beyond. But today, we're just a little selfishly focused on Albuquerque. So I'm going to bring up and acknowledge one more elected official, my boss, a big fan of arts and culture, Mayor Tim Keller.
Thanks so much, Shel. And, I couldn't help but I think almost everyone has been here for this. But this is a little bit like opening day of the Roundhouse. This is where it's like, everyone stands up and you all have a number in front of your, where you're sitting. But it's a credit because there are so many people who are involved in government. So many people who have helped in so many ways our community, from elected officials to just civil servants, to folks who just care about our community. And so this is truly a wonderful gathering to celebrate a wonderful woman. And I want to just begin with, I think, the origin story, a little bit of how this started. I think it was about 4 years ago. I was in a conversation actually with some of the folks here. Ed may not remember this. I think it was over at the Cultural Center at some point. And we were talking about the stories in our city and the people whose stories maybe weren't always told or told enough. And also this notion that we have all these things in our town that can be used to celebrate the stories of us. And so this became like small things, like why streets are just named random things. Violet Street, like that, like why not name that after someone who did something great? And then it became too in our public spaces. Why can't we use these as mechanisms for storytelling? And that's where, of course, Shell and the Arts and Culture team and actually a number of folks across city departments, we really gave birth to this idea of the Stories of Us project. And before we talk about Clara, I want to just plug that we have lots more spaces. And so if folks want to tell your story or someone else's story, I'm going to mention you should talk to Ileana. She helps coordinate us for this all, Ileana Molina. Give her a round of applause. She'll make this happen. And so we've been working through doing this all over the city. This is probably our 20th or so example. And sometimes they're smaller things, sometimes they're bigger things. It doesn't really matter. The idea is we're kind of institutionalizing the story of people who've lifted up Albuquerque. And so for us, that brings us, of course, to why we're here today, to honor Clara Apodaca. And I think in many ways, a lifetime of service and of leadership and of love of community. I think another thing that I'm reminded of always, no matter what election cycle it is, we love our city. Sometimes that means being really critical of our city and also telling the truth about our city. But it also means fundamentally celebrating who we are. And one of the most powerful ways we've always done that, and is still true, is by celebrating who we are through arts and culture. And especially through that combination of arts and culture in our public spaces. Reminding folks of our diverse history and of the amazing stories of the people who've lived here since time immemorial, all the way through El Camino Real coming through, and of course statehood and so on and beyond. Now, for us too, this is also why we thought of Clara almost right away. And I talked to her a little bit about this over the years and some of the family. By the way, she has a ton of family here, which is awesome. Thank you, Apodacas from out of state, for coming in, and in-state for coming in. It's great to see you here. Now, we know a couple of things that we all know about her, but I do want to share. One, of course, born and raised in Las Cruces, a family truly of the entire state, but her story started in Las Cruces. And as, of course, First Lady of New Mexico, we remember the powerful vision that she had for the arts and inclusivity in public spaces. And of course, first and foremost, she founded the Governor's Gallery in the state capitol, something like we always take for granted. And of course, I think a strong irony that it wasn't actually founded by a governor. But it's a credit to you for actually founding it. And but we also know all of the sort of arts in the Roundhouse, that was part of a huge legacy that she leaves. But as we all know, it continued for so many decades after that too. Whether it was your leadership in the New Mexico Museum of History and Science, whether it was the Hispanic Cultural Foundation or the center itself, and also even tie-ins to the Albuquerque Museum. Basically, whenever our community, especially the arts and culture community, has needed a champion, you have said yes, and you have answered that challenge. Sometimes it's fundraising, sometimes it's haranguing others to get things done. I even think of the Southwest Opera. I think you've saved that at least 4 times, maybe more than that. And but it is a credit to your zeal and your passion for this state, and also for the community that's here, which you are, for us in many ways too, a role model. I think even when I was getting started in public service, it was abundantly clear who knew how to get things done, who was trying to stand up for our community, regardless even of party or of anything like that. And Clara was always at the top of the list, and still is. And so we celebrate you today. What we're going to do is we're going to unveil this after we bring you up to share a few words. But we just want to acknowledge that basically this space here is going to be the Clara Apodaca Gallery. And it's sort of the Albuquerque version of the Governor's Gallery, but also I think fittingly more just for the general public, because this is the convention center, right? This has hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. And in kind of a way we don't usually think about, to be honest, there's only 3 places in the state that get over 1 million visitors. Sometimes they're the same visitors. But it's the Balloon Fiesta, and of course a lot of that's tourists. The other is the Sunport, and then it's the convention center. So that's why we wanted this place to reflect your leadership. So with that, let's bring up our Woman of the Hour, Clara Apodaca.
Thank you for that gracious introduction. And there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know I had done, and he mentioned them, which is good. But that's okay. You guys can stand back. But I want to thank everybody that's here today, but especially thank you for the mayor and the city of Albuquerque for this great honor. I never imagined that he would name anything like this after me. My family and I are very grateful. And we're just very thankful that we're still all here. And I'm very proud that we're here. I've known Tim, and I call him Tim, because I knew him before he got into politics. I moved back from Washington 18 years ago and to run the National Hispanic Cultural Center Foundation. And every year, since we had Maravilla, the fundraising arm of the foundation, he was always attending, so he was always a fundraiser too. So thank you, Tim. I always felt that our culture and the arts should be available and accessible to all New Mexican students and people from across the country, because we never had that too much. So 50 years ago this year, I started the Governor's Art Gallery, believe it or not. Yeah, 50 years. And we started out, the Apodaca administration came into office January the 1st, 1975. By April of 1975, I had started the Governor's Art Gallery with Georgia O'Keeffe, so it was a big splash. And today, and in those days, they didn't let you put one nail in the Capitol. There wasn't one piece of art except in the governor's office. Today, our roundhouse is like a museum. And it's full of New Mexican artists that have donated pieces to the roundhouse. So we hope that we can continue that. But I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that. So many people have come through the gallery, and also to the brown bag lunches that we used to have at the rotunda. But I think the mayor believed that it was an economic engine, the arts were, and they are today, so that's why he's been so supportive. And actually, the city council now has been so supportive. Thank you, Councilor Baca, because he now attends events, not just gives money. That's good. Our county commissioners are now supporting the Opera Southwest, so that's really good. I want to acknowledge just a few people here today because I'm so proud to be here. First of all, my dear friend Deb Holland is now running for governor. Deb, thanks for being here. I don't think any city council members are here, but I know Brooks called this morning, said she couldn't make it, but she's also my champion when it comes to the money for the Opera Southwest, so thank you for that. And then, of course, Shell Sanchez. What can I say about Shell? Shell and I worked together at the National Hispanic Cultural Center, and she was quite a champion and an organizer, so I've always enjoyed. When she first came to see me, we started planning this, she made it so easy. So Shell, I thank you for that, because you are the star, one of the stars of the mayor's office. course, I see my South Valley girlfriends, my Santa Fe girlfriends, what can I say, and my coffee clutch, LaDonna Harris, Julie Heinrich, and Martha Burke. We used to get together for lunch once a month, and as we all got older, LaDonna, we kind of skipped it to every 2 or 3 months. So, but thank you so much for that. And of course, last but certainly not least, is my family. Here today is Cindy and Sean Sherman from Washington, D.C. Where are you? And then my granddaughter from Colorado, Bridget Sherman. My granddaughter from California, Kelly Sherman. And then my daughter, Carolyn, that took a day off from work. Carolyn has been so helpful to me through my rehab. I thank you, Carolyn. And of course, Jeff and Jackie Apodaca, my son and daughter-in-law. And of course, I have one grandson here, Asher Apodaca. Where are you? And of course, the wind beneath my wings, my sister, Esther Marcus. So I'm so happy that you guys are all here. It's just a pleasure to see all of you. And it just brings back so many memories of so many things through the years. But 50 years ago, you all have to go see the Governor's Art Gallery, and now this gallery. And Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for this. It's been a wonderful day. Thank you.
Help her out with a little countdown here. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
That's beautiful, and you'll leave it there forever, right?
Yeah.
We are not taking it down. It's definitely staying there forever.